We are live with team coverage on this First Alert weather day. Let's start with First Alert Chief Meteorologist Paul Hagan breaking down what should be a wild couple of days across the Bay Area.
Yeah, we are not done yet. The good news in the short term is that the winds are relaxing somewhat. It's still breezy out there, but after dozens of wind damage and power outage reports, those winds are now on a sustained basis below 25 miles an hour. There are still some higher gusts. These are the current gusts as of 5 p.m. A 36-mile-an-hour gust at the Oakland airport, 30 miles an hour at SFO and in Fairfield. That's a far cry from the gusts that were almost double these numbers 24 hours ago. That's when we had the most widespread damage reports coming in. Now, we have seen a few spotty showers, rain showers in the lower elevations amounting to basically a trace of rainfall, a little bit of that around Santa Rosa. That's now moving its way into Napa County. We're also seeing a few rain and snow showers in the higher elevations of Santa Cruz Mountains and in the Santa Clara Hills. Mount Hamilton has picked up some snow. The camera from the Lick Observatory has been snowed in for most of the day. A winter weather advisory continues through tomorrow afternoon for the blue shaded areas, mainly focused on the Santa Cruz Mountains and the Santa Clara Hills. Light accumulations generally above 2,000 feet in elevation, but a much higher impact system has prompted a winter storm warning that is in effect beginning at 4 o'clock Thursday, goes through 1 o'clock Friday afternoon. This system is going to have quite a bit more moisture to work with and even more cold air, so the snow levels are going to drop down to around 1,500 feet, could even get some dustings down to about 1,000 feet in elevation, which is lower than we usually see with these types of systems. This is the first winter storm warning that the National Weather Service office in Monterey has issued in 12 years, since February of 2011. Also, a wind advisory goes into effect at 4 p.m. Thursday. That goes through 4 p.m. Friday. The winds aren't going to be as strong, but they're still going to bring in the potential for more downed trees and branches and power outages, especially in those higher elevations where some of the trees and branches could be holding on to some of that very wet snow, which just weighs them down even more. We're going to track all of this hour by hour with Futurecast in just a few minutes.
All right, thanks, Paul. And one area that could see some of that low-level snow, the Santa Cruz Mountains.
And that's where we find Katie Nielsen live along Highway 17. Katie, what are you seeing so far?
Well, just about 5 minutes ago, it actually started to snow here where we are in Redwood Estates. This is an unincorporated area of Santa Clara County, and I'll show you the kind of downtown area here. This is the post office. You have a market and a restaurant. That's it. That is all that's up here in this community. It's about 1,000 people, and it's at 1,600 feet elevation. So just as Paul was saying, this snow, not entirely unexpected.
At the one small grocery store in Redwood Estates, owner Marion Chi says they've already seen a steady stream of people coming in to get ready to hunker down.
People know to stock up usually around here, so they'll get ice if they don't have a generator. A lot of comfort food, frozen foods, yeah, and beer, of course. Always beer. People come in and will say, "Oh, the power's going to be out," so they get extra beer.
Store employee Mark Russo says most people who live in the Santa Cruz Mountains are somewhat used to big storms, and most have generators. But it's the highway he worries about most.
It's a mess. 17 is just a mess. So accidents and rollovers. And
Highway 17 is known for being treacherous during rainstorms, but throw in snow and it could be almost unpassable.
These are some really unusual meteorological conditions for us. We don't usually see in the forecast snow in the Santa Cruz Mountains.
The last time it snowed here was in February of 2019. But even though snow is rare, Caltrans crews and CHP officers will be out 24 hours a day over the next couple days, monitoring road conditions and trying to keep the roads safe.
We can come with trucks with blades in the front of them to clear any snowfall off the roadway. Those same trucks can drop sand in back of them that will help with the traction.
Now you can see just how excited some of the people are here in Redwood Estates. People are outside, they're holding out their hands, trying to catch some of this snow, trying to take pictures, videos of it. Now, as we've been talking about, the big concern is road conditions. Caltrans says they do not plan any preemptive closures, but they are going to be keeping a close eye on conditions. And if it does get too dangerous, they're going to have no option but to close Highway 17.
All right, well, we will keep an eye on that. And Katie, we can even see some of that snow and wetness on the camera screen, too. Thanks so much for that report. Well, here's a live look from the Santa Clara County Hills east of San Jose, just one of the areas where we are expecting snow in the coming days, although it's nice and green right now. And up even higher at Mount Hamilton, we're almost certain to see some accumulation there.
And that means a lot of people are going to be tempted to drive up there to check it out. Ann McAvick spoke with the folks at the Lick Observatory. So, Ann, What's their advice?
Yeah, don't do it.
Okay.
That's it. Just stop.
Yeah, and I can actually attest to that advice. I went up to cover the snow several years ago, and it was a real nightmare trying to get back down because the ice freezes on the slopes behind you. Here's a look at Mount Hamilton, though. This is after snowfall in 2018. And while it looks pretty, people at Lick Observatory want you to look from afar. It is a long, narrow, often steep and twisty road to get up there. And they say it's especially annoying when they're called upon to help in an emergency, taking resources away from their serious astronomy business.
So it's a big distraction, and it can also obstruct the delivery of supplies and consumables to the observatory if the road gets blocked.
Yeah, and every February they're busy with big maintenance projects since the wet weather often blocks them from firing up the telescopes themselves. But the observatory is open to the public year-round on Saturday and Sunday, weather permitting.